Hi Math 2 students, so today we're going to go over the 6.6 notes, so go ahead and find that in your packet. So for number 1, it says label the coordinates of the vertices of ABC. So they want us to put the coordinates down here, so C would be 2, 2, B would be, let's see, 9, 0, 8, 2, and then A would be 2, 10. All right, and it says find the midpoint of AC, label it point M. All right, so what we'd have to do here is if we look at A and C, that goes from 2 to 10, right? So the difference here, this has a length of 8. So halfway, 1, 2, 3, 4, would be right here. So that's going to be our midpoint. And the coordinates of that is going to be 2, comma, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2, 6. Then they want us to find the midpoint of CB. So if we look at CB, we go from 2 to 8. So the length of this is 6. So we're going to want to count 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's right in the middle. And the coordinates of that are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma 2. All right, awesome. All right. So now, let's see, midpoint of AB. Midpoint of AB is a little bit trickier. But what we could do is we could find the halfway point between each of these values. So halfway between, we look at the 2 and the 8. We know that 2 to 8 is 6. So we're going to want to count over 3. 1, 2, 3. And then halfway up is 4. So that's going to be our midpoint there. So that's going to be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5, 6. All right. So these are all of our midpoint segments. After labeling the coordinates C, D, X, Y, you can label the coordinates of the midpoint of each segment. All right. So let's go ahead, let's label C. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got -8, 8. D is going to be 3, 1. X is going to be 8, 3. And Y is going to be 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, -8. All right. So now I'm actually going to give you a formula here. Okay. So when you're trying to find the midpoint between two different coordinates, all you have to do is find the average of the X values, average of the Y values. So essentially to do that, you just do x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll find the midpoint of CD here. So this is going to be our x1, y1, x2, y2. So all we have to do is go ahead. We're going to do -8 plus 3 divided by 2 and 8 plus 1 divided by 2. We get, let's see, we get, oops, -2.5. And we get 4.5. So we're going to go 1, 2.5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4.5 right there. So that is going to be our midpoint. All right. Now let's go ahead and find the midpoint between x and y. So again, we're going to go ahead and add up. We'll say this is x1, y1, and it doesn't matter which one, which group you label 1 and 2. All right, so we're going to do 8 plus 2 divided by 2, and 3 plus negative 8 divided by 2. So that's going to give us 5. And negative 2.5. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2.5. And that gives us our midpoint. All right, so next it says find the midpoint of the segment connecting the given points. Quick thing, this guy should have been over there by problem C. Just got a little formatting issue, so we'll move him over. Just to prevent any confusion there, y'all. All right. So let's go ahead and try to find the midpoint of these guys. So we're going to do, we'll say x1, y1, x2, y2. So we'll do negative 7 plus 5 divided by 2, and 4 plus 8 divided by 2. And that's going to give us negative 1 and 6. All right, try this guy out. See if you could find the midpoint of these guys. So you're going to do x1, y1, x2, y2, and use 6 plus negative 2 divided by 2, and negative 1 plus negative 13 divided by 2. So that's going to give us 2. And then negative 1 minus 13 is going to give us negative 7. All right, try this one out. So you should do 6 plus 7 divided by 2, and negative 3 plus 23 divided by 2. Which is going to give us 6.5 and 10. All right, so next it says label the vertices of PQR. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, comma 1. We've got 4, comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 7. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So negative 10, comma 1. All right, so they want you to connect the midpoint of PR to the midpoint of PQ. So we're going to find the midpoint here, and you know what? I'm just going to be lazy. We'll just find the middle. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to want to go 3. Halfway. And then here, what we go from, we're going to go 10 plus 4. So we're going to want to go 7. So we'll start here and count 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is going to be our midpoint there. Then we connect them, we get this. All right. So it says, do you notice anything about the resulting segments, angles, or triangles? So one thing I want to point out is if we were to find the slope between these two, they have the same slope, right? We go up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this one's 6 over 14, which gives us 3/7. This one is also 3/7. So the lines are parallel. Remember, when things have the same slope, they're parallel. And then they do form two similar, they form two triangles. And another thing, the length of PQ is twice the length of, we'll just label this AB here. So we could say the new So we could say AB is half of PQ. All right, so if the midpoint of one side of a triangle is connected to the midpoint of another side of a triangle, then the resulting segment. So we could say, this isn't perfect because we don't have actual lines, but we can draw that in there. The resulting segment is parallel to the third side, and it's going to be, and it is half the length of the third side. All right, so let's go ahead, we'll take a look here. So they tell us that M and N are the midpoints, and they want us to find X and Y. All right, so first off, if M is a midpoint, we know that it cuts AB in half. So that means that X has to be 7, right off the bat. We don't even have to do any math for that. Then, based on what we wrote up here, we said that this resulting segment is half the length of this guy, right? So our resulting segment is 11, so that means that our third side is going to have to be 22. You multiply the 11 by 2. All right, so now let's go ahead. They want us to find the perimeter of TRZ. So TRZ is this guy. It's a little bit tougher, but I think we can do it. So first off, we can put in the length of this guy here. They told us that these guys are congruent. So that means that S is the midpoint, and we know that this has to be 3. Same thing here. They told us that these two segments are congruent to each other. That means that W is the midpoint, and then that's a 4. And since we know that S and W are the midpoint, we know that this guy has to be half the length of our 3x minus 11. So we could do 2 times x minus 1 equals 3x minus 11. We're going to distribute. We get 2x minus 2 equals 3x minus 11 minus 2x. Add 11. We get x equals 9. So we can figure out the length here. We're going to do 3 times 9 minus 11, which is going to give us 16. So now to find the perimeter, all we have to do is add up all of these numbers. So we're going to do 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 16, which gives us 30.